Welcome back, everybody. This is Dave the Gamer. Wanted to first start off by thanking everybody. I've cracked about 1,300 subscribers now, so huge thank you to everybody that has been supporting me with my channel. And today, this is going to be basically a two-part video. I'm going to be looking at something I'd like to see added into the game. Yes, I am talking about change. I know this word may scare some of you, but I got an idea of some change that I think is going to be pretty cool. So this first part is going to be talking about the PvP events, and the second part, which will come out shortly after, is going to be about racial passives, basically how to convince more people to sign up for Ally. So right now, Alliance is very much lower on all different servers. So we need to balance this to be able to make these PvP events actually work properly. So the main reason I am thinking of these PvP events, a lot of people always complain as phases go on, there's not enough to do, or World PvP is dead. Which some of that's true. So world PvP is pretty much non-existent. There is some zones, and if you're on Alliance, you can get into BGs very quickly. But other than that, there's not a whole lot going on. A lot of people are starting to raid log and only log on just to go to the raids, or maybe just to farm some gold to be able to raid. And I'd like to get more people back into the game so we can all play together. And what better than fucking each other up? Let's get a huge ass battle in the middle of different zones. And basically, I'm going to, some of my ideas, like I said, one is going to be talking about how to encourage more world PvP. And then what the rewards behind this is going to be, I'm going to go in more depth later on, basically a goodie bag. And within the goodie bag, it gives you a chance at a Black Lotus, an arcane crystal, stuff like that. So even though they already did address the Black Lotus issue, essentially it can happen again. So with the goodie bags, everybody getting a reward from there and a small chance to get a Black Lotus, this is going to keep the Black Lotus price down, not one person hoarding, because your regular casual person out there PvPing, helping your server, now has a chance at the Black Lotus, which I think is fun. I think with Black Lotus, it's good to keep them right around 100, 150 max. I feel like a flask, a good price for a flask should be about 150 to 180. That's just the right price where it makes, you're not going to do it on an MC run, but it's definitely for speed runs, you're going to do it, and you might even do it more often then. So let's get into some of the ideas I got. So the topics I'm going to be covering, and I'm going to have timestamps below so you're able to jump to different sections along with all the information in the description. But I'm going to be talking about the faction PvP event, so Alliance versus Horde, server-wide. And then a 1v1 event, and this is going to be giving you rewards and new titles. So bear with me. So the faction PvP event, what I'm thinking about is something like a King of the Hill style, almost like a AB BG event, but a little bit different. So what I'm thinking, and like I said, with all of these things that I'm proposing, obviously, I'm 100% open for, modifying some of them, reducing some, adding more rewards, changing the titles. Like, I'm giving you the base idea of what I think would be very beneficial, and then we can modify it from there, have everybody vote. I just think this overall concept is going to drive a lot of people back into the game playing. So the faction event with the King of the Hill style, what I'm thinking about is 3 orbs that are randomly scattered over a zone. And it takes 3 people or more actually clicking on the orb, whatever you want it to be, to actually capture it. And it takes 30 seconds of straight channeling. So 30 seconds gives people the opposite, Horde, Alliance, whoever, plenty of time to actually stop the person channeling it. And you have to control 2 of 3 of the orbs to actually win the event. So I'm thinking this to be on a 2 to 4 day cooldown, and only be activated during 2 to 10 p.m. server time. The reason I'm thinking of these times, that's typically when most people are online. You don't want it to be super early in the morning when, one side can just capture it easy. It kind of defeats the purpose. I want this at a busy time so it's a huge battle. So I'm thinking of random locations on the map, neutral zones. So, 1,000 needles or Eastern Plague Land, somewhere random where it's like neutral zone, so it's a fair chance for everybody to get there and actually attend the event. So we could come up with like 10 different locations to actually host these at and make them random. So it could literally spawn in any of the zones. And like I said, with the 2 to 4 day cooldown, this prevents anybody from like exactly knowing when it's going to happen. You can't plan. You just have to be ready, watching your Discord, whatever, for people to ping like, hey, get on, hurry up, hurry up. So like, it's just encouraging people to play more. Like I said, I'm going to tackle the faction balance in my next video, but until there's a balance between Horde and Alliance, I would give Alliance a dynamic stat buff to even out the playing field. So since they are outnumbered, maybe give them a little bonus in damage or something, health, until the balance actually does happen. And what I would do is I would do just like in Stranglethorn Vale, a yell within the actual zone itself. I would make it a server yell like, hey, 30 minutes, 1,000 needles, it's going down. And then it gives just enough time for everybody to hurry up, get their ass there, and get ready for the fucking event. I want this thing to be, 1 to 3 hour event, just massive, tons of killing. And what it's really doing is it's rallying all the guilds to work together. So whether, everybody has to create a server-wide Discord so they can communicate and really fight against the other faction, I think it's going to be a blast to really bring everybody together. Now, one thing that I do or I am aware of that it could cause issues is if this is massive, I don't know if the servers could handle it. That's why I'm thinking, like, if you were to do 3 orbs, you scatter them far distance between each other so there's not 1,000 people in one central area. They're spread out across the zone. So hopefully that doesn't crash the server. I don't know, but I love the idea. So bear with me here. We're going to talk about the rewards. What I'm thinking about for the rewards, I'm thinking of a goodie bag system, whether it's mailed to you after you win, or there's like a big old chest in the middle of the zone where everybody goes there to collect their reward after something fun. They're like, boom, I fucking won. But in the bag of contents, this is what I'm thinking. So I would like to influence basically less time farming for raid supplies and stuff like that, and more time spending in PvP and actual fun events where you work together. So with this being said, with the bag of contents, I'm thinking of a tiny chance to get a Black Lotus Arcane Crystal. So that'll keep them at a relatively fair price. And then also in the goodie bags, we'll have like herbs, raid potions, raw gold. When I'm thinking raid potions, like, Elixir of Giants, Mage Blood, stuff that you're actually going to use for the raid, and you could average the bags between 10 to 20 gold. Obviously, we can modify these pricing and what's in the bag and stuff, but I'm thinking, like I said, spend less time farming and more time PvP. So to give, and you have to make it worth it. If someone's going to spend 3 hours in a battle, they have to make, say 80 gold an hour, 240 gold, just the same as if they were to go in an instant and farm. I understand mages can do 400 gold an hour. I'm not talking about you guys. I'm talking about everybody else in the damn game. You guys, calm down. So the goodie bag reward, I'm thinking of putting a fail safe on it though, just so people can't show up in AFK or have a ton of level 1s just collecting rewards. So I'm thinking, 1, your team has to be on the winning side, obviously. And then either A, you were part of capturing an orb, or B, you had like, 2 or 5 more plus honorable kills. And I'm thinking of a way to track the honorable kills just like you would in BG, where at the end of it, it pops up a screen like, okay, you had this many kills, this many orb captures, just the same concept. And then capturing an orb counts as 10 honorable kills. So it gives the person, a nice little chunk for you to spend that 30 seconds when you could have been killing. And then I would scale the rewards based off your participation. So if you were to get the 2 or 5 plus or an orb, you'd get 4 goodie bags. If you got 20 kills, 8 goodie bags. 30 plus kills, 12 goodie bags. So you're talking, this person could have, if you're out there just fucking slaying shit, like you would have on average, I would say about 150 gold, but then you might have been like off 12 bags, you might have got 1 or 2 Black Lotus. So boom, now you're up 300-400 gold. So for you being a badass and really participating, you reap the rewards. And then with this event, I was thinking of something fun to do. Everybody likes titles. So I was thinking the person with the most honorable kills during the event gets a title, something like Realm Defender. So, for the next week or basically until the next big event, you get to walk around and anybody that sees you like, damn, that person fucking murdered it last event. So I think that'd be pretty cool little twist to it. So moving on to the 1v1 event. So the solo event, I think this one's going to be pretty unique. I understand Blizz just came out with something they're going to be doing, I think a 10 versus 10, looks like a Warsong Gulch battle, and the grand prize is like, I don't know, $5,000 or something like that. I'm not even asking them to invest money per se in these events, minus being able to handle the actual server, and they do have to do some modifications to add some of these things. So I guess that I am asking them to put some money up, but not have to pay $5,000 to the winner or whatever. So the solo PvP event, what I'm thinking is like a once a week event. During this time, I would have signups from like 6 to 7 peak time, so everybody gets a chance to sign up, and then start it at 8. I'd make a cross server, so Alliance and Horde, and during these battles, you could fight another Alliance, like Alliance versus Alliance, Horde versus Horde, anything like that. If you ever, if you are familiar with old school RuneScape, they have a dead man mode where like the top 200 people or something get ported into a little arena where each person battles off 1 versus 1. Now I know it's a little bit different with WoW, so you need a lot more space than they do in old school RuneScape. So I'm not sure if you should do it in like a complete open area, like a regular arena in TBC. Or like if you do the arena in TBC, is it like a platform level, like a tier system? So these are some of the things we're going to have to hash out. But the main idea of both of these, I feel like, are pretty consistent. So with this event, I would do a 200 person max cap, minimum 50 people for the event to start, something like that. And this is where you could get like a little gold sink in the game, which is always good for the game, where to actually enter, you have to pay 200 gold or 400 gold, something big where not everybody's joining in, and you have like the elitist out there really battling it out. Just to keep it, like I said, 200 gold, you're not going to have 10,000 people joining. You're going to have the several hundred who think, oh, I got it, I'm going to whoop some ass. So it puts that barrier of entry, which I think, and just thinking about if only 50 people join at 200 gold, that's 10,000 gold items or gold sink, which like I said, I think it's personally good for the game. So I would make this a 1v1 fight. Like I said, poured into an open arena or whatever you're going to do with it. And then each time you win, you move up a bracket. So you could do a best out of 3. You could do no losing bracket. These are the things that we can modify and change based off what the community thinks. But I think this would be really awesome to basically show who the hell is the best fighter on your server. And it could be, another alliance in your alliance. So that's great to be able to fight your own faction with that. I'm thinking third place, 200 gold, so they basically get their money back, and then 5 goodie bags, so they can make a little bit of money off it. Second place starts to make a little bit more, 300 gold, 10 gold goodie bags. And then first place, 500 gold, 20 goodie bags. So I want first and second place to really be rewarded for being the most badass person. Like, you risked 200 gold to get into this event, and then you dominated. So you should be able to make a good bit of money off that, because this person, might get a couple Black Lotus. By the end of this, he can make 1,000 gold. So, or 800 gold profit. So with this also, as far as another title, I'm thinking the winner of the week gets like PvP King. And then this title would be transferred to the next person that won the event. So for the entire week or whatever, you're walking around with this title, PvP King. Everybody sees you like, damn, all right. Like, if I seen that person in open world, I would not fucking attack them, because they're just going to fucking kill shit. So I think both the main PvP event, where it's, all the guilds rallying together, Horde versus Alliance, I think that's going to be epic. I think the 1v1 event is going to be really great to show who's the best overall on your server, and a chance for, the PvPers to actually make good gold by being good at PvP. So I'd love to hear your guys' feedback. Let me know what you would change. Is this idea just completely fucking... Like, I understand I'm asking a lot for Blizzard to actually make these changes, and a lot of people are against changes. So I get it. If you enjoyed this video and other videos I like, check in the top right corner right there. That's going to be the best video for you. I'd love to hear your guys' feedback, and as always, game on.